So on a C10, the common areas where you're gonna find rust are all the low-lying areas where water's allowed to collect. So we were super stoked when we found out about this truck because it was sitting out in the middle of the desert all its entire life, which we figured, well, hey, it's gotta be rust-free. The rust was free. And the reason for it, that AC unit sitting on the top of it made a bunch of condensation and it sweated down the side of this truck. In this case, on this truck especially, the wiper cowl, the cab corners, and obviously the rocker are wasted on this passenger side. So what exactly is rust? I mean, let's go back to our 10th grade science class where we learned that if you have water mixing with oxygen, it oxidizes the iron that's inside steel. That creates rust. There's a treatment for every stage of rust. The first one with surface rust starts by removing all of the rust down, usually with an abrasive disc. The second stage is where you start to have bubbles or acting. Again, that's something that you might be able to create a small patch panel by cutting out that area and welding in another fresh piece of steel. The third stage, the terminal stage, is where we're at with this truck. Rocker panels, the inner sill, and also the cab corners that are completely rotted out that we're gonna need to cut out and replace with these patch panels that we got from Brothers Truck Parts. Jordan started removing the rusted panels by using a cutoff tool armed with a Cubitron 2 wheel from 3M. Then he used an air saw. After the rusted panel was removed, 3M's clean and strip wheels prepped all the areas around the patch that will need to be welded. Working slowly, the panels are tacked in place as the seam of the panels and the floorboard are aligned perfectly by using a hammer and dolly. We chose to use a TIG machine over the MIG machine as the TIG process allowed for more heat control to limit any warpage of the sheet metal. In the end, the seam of the panel and the floor was left clean and strong. We switched over to a right angle grinder equipped with a 2-inch 60 grit Cubitron 2 roll-lock wheel for a few passes before changing over to a dual action sander. Here's the finished patch seam that we shot some of 3M's weld-through primer over just for protection. Watch C10 Clash, brought to you by 3M Auto